are going to do a deep dive into the Chishan, the Christian, and I shorten that to Chishan DaBaRy, W-O-R-D, F-A-I-T-H, right up here. F-A-I-T-H. Now, and when we were in Cianity, aka followers of JC, that is a DaBaRy that you constantly hear by F-A-I-T-H, not by sight, you know. There was constant SONGS, S-O-N-G-S's, you know, that were made based on this DaBaRy, F-A-I-T-H. And there are a lot of girls out there with that sham, that N-A-M-E. I've known this for a long while, that was it's a Pagan DaBaRy, a Pagan W-O-R-D, and not to use it along this path, this Zod of the way, you know, of Yahweh. But I wanted to do a video on it to those that don't know or that need a deeper explanation of why it is that and where it comes from. And then those two that might be still in Cianity that come across this channel, or this page rather, and that are looking and that need to know the truth where we've been lied to our whole Chaim, L-I-F-E. We're going to go ahead and just dive into it. I've got all these windows up here, and we're just going to get through it. And when you realize what it comes from, it originates from, then you realize you shouldn't be speaking that, because it originates from a Rasha, E-V-I-L, you know, W-I-C-K-E-D, Geodeus or G-O-D. We're going to start right up here. The DaBaRy, W-R-O-D, F-A-I-T-H, comes from the Latin DaBaRy, F-I-D-E-S. F-I-D-E-S. That means to trust. The DaBaRy, F-A-I-T-H, has roots in the Proto-Indo-European, because we know E-U-R-O-P-E derives from E-U-R-O-P-A. That is a Greek. Is it Greek? Might not be Greek. I can't remember. But anyway, it's a Geodeus. Okay. DaBaRy, B-H-E-I-D-H. That means to trust or to believe. Okay, let's click on this right here. And show more. Etymology, the DaBaRy, F-A-I-T-H, entered the English language in the mid-13th century. And they're going to tell you it comes from the Anglo-French DaBaRYM, F-E-I-D, Ua, F-E-I-T. That comes from the Latin DaBaRy, F-I-D-E-S. Okay, that's its original DaBaRy, or W-O-R-D. It comes from F-I-D-E-S. That means everything, okay? That means everything. Right up here. The DaBaRy, F-A-I-T-H, has been influenced by the Proto-Indo-European DaBaRy, W-E-R-E-O. That means trust or trustworthiness. I've never heard of that DaBaRy before. And then you go into the usages of it. It's described trust in a higher being in this, you know, S-U-P-E-R-N-A-T-U-R-E-L. For example, folks have F-A-I-T-H in G-O-D, or in a tube friend or a well-written recipe. And the B-I-B-L-E, the DaBaRy, F-A-I-T-H, is often used to describe trust in G-O-D. And there's related DaBaRYM right down there. You can see that. You can keep on scrolling, and it talks about different things there. And you can go to etymology, and it's going to give you the same thing. If you click on that. Okay, therefore we know the origin of it now, right? We know the origin of it. What's the Greek origin? Is there a Greek origin of the DaBaRy, F-I-D-E-S? Let's get back to the top. The Latin DaBaRy, F-I-D-E-S, is not directly derived from a Greek DaBaRy, but the Greek DaBaRYM for F-A-I-T-H is P-I-S-T-I-S. Okay? Show more. Explanation. Here we go. F-I-D-E-S was a R-O-M-A-N geodeist who personified tube, F-A-I-T-H, trust, loyalty. She was a god of the first R-O-M-A-N divinities to be considered a virtue. F-I-D-E-S was a key part of R-O-M-A-N social or political chai and was essential to the character of a public figure. She was a symbol of reliability and the trust between two parties. It was considered a serious time to violate F-I-D-E-S with both legal or religious consequences. And then it kind of goes in a little bit more. The DaBaRYM, F-I-D-U-C-I-A, means trust. Comes from the Latin F-I-D-E-S. The DaBaRYM, F-A-I-T-H, comes from the Latin DaBaRYM, F-I-D-E-R-E, that means to trust. And I'm believing by reading this, trust is probably another DaBaRYM. We probably shouldn't be speaking. I'll do another video on that after sometime later, because I've been questioning that DaBaRYM too. But the Greek DaBaRYM for F-A-I-T-H is P-I-S-T-I-S. The Greek DaBaRYM for B-E-L-I-E-V-E is P-I-S-T-U-O. And then down here again in this Wikipedia, F-I-D-E-S was the geodeist of trust, da-da-da-da-da. Okay? There. F-A-I-T-H originates from the geodeist, F-I-D-E-S. Okay, we shouldn't be speaking it, period. All right? But let's go ahead a little bit further more, because you've got the Greek DaBaRYM for it is P-I-S-T-I-S. Next winder. Oh, here's another winder for you, if that wasn't enough. About F-I-D-E-S was the R-O-M-A geodeist of trust, honesty, tube, F-A-I-T-H. It's got a picture of her on a coin. It goes into detail here. Show more. And you can read all that if you want to. Oh, wait a minute. F-I-D-E-S in Cianity. Do y'all see that right there? Cianity. In Cianity, F-I-D-E-S is the Latin DaBaRYM for F-A-I-T-H. Okay. There's more on her. There's constantly sources here. Lots of sources. All right. This here is P-I-S-T-I-S, geodeist. In Greek mythology, P-I-S-T-I-S is the geodeist who personifies T-R-U-S-T, reliability, Lua, tube, F-A-I-T-H. Her R-O-M-A-N counterpart is, you guessed it, F-I-D-E-S. You've got your origin and meaning, and y'all need to realize origin is what it's all about. You can't change the origin of nothing. You can't. Whatever it derives from is what it's caused of. P-I-S-T-I-S is derived from the Greek DaBaRYM for T-R-U-S-T, or that DaBaRYM there, reliance. In ancient Greece, the sham was given to the children to install values of integrity or reliability. In the Brit Kadashah, or what folks know as the New Testament, P-I-S-T-I-S is often translated as F-A-I-T-H. And then you've got the role about it, and she was a god of the, if you can call them that, tube Rukuth, to escape P-A-N-D-O-R-A-S's box and return to heaven. In Greek, Greco, R-O-M-A-N, the ball, P-I-S-T-I-S, was associated with, and it just keeps on going. Other uses in Cianity that everybody thinks is all right. P-I-S-T-I-S is foundational to the Ephesian Chai, L-I-F-E, as through F-A-I-T-H that believers are J-U-S-T-ified will live out the relationship with God. The sham, Pistis, has maintained its symbolic power throughout history. The sham Pistis has been used in the sham of a Tarot deck. You know, those cards that is in Itchcraft with a W, called the Geodes Tarot. That's where they get the sham of the deck of cards, you know, that they play. The Tarot cards, it comes from Tarot, the Geodes. No big shocker, huh? And then you've got more resources. You can keep on going. But let's go up here. I went up here and all I did was type Pistis Geodes and images. Well, I started noticing on every image you have this sham right after it. Sophia, Sophia, there. And then you kind of scroll down and you've got it there. Oh, there's the Tarot. You know, they're all related. And then there again. And I was like, you know, I've known that the DaBaR, or the sham rather, Sophia, is a Roshah Geodes. You know, I've always known that for a long while. Not always known it, but I've known it for a long while. But I didn't know that she was connected to Pistis. I thought that was interesting. So I came back up here to this window and I typed in Sophia Geodes. We've got some more DaBaRYM we're going to learn here. Sophia is a Geodes of Wisdom. Yes, there are a lot of DaBaRYM I'm just going to call it with letters too because I've done my research and I know better. She is a Geodes of Wisdom who has appeared in a lot of societies or religions. Her sham comes from the Greek DaBaR for Wisdom. Don't we use that DaBaR, or not we, but doesn't most folks out there use that DaBaR all the time? Wisdom, I used to. I've got videos where I used to speak that DaBaR because I didn't know any better. Why didn't I know any better? I didn't research enough. Show more. You've got this here you can read all about it. Look at here. If y'all know anything about JC, J-E-S-U-S, and you know the Amat, the truth on him, then you won't be surprised to see this. But if you don't, you probably will. In religion, Ua, Philo, Sophy. If I call it out, you should go research it. This right here. Sophia is the divine female creator, Ua, counterpart to JC. Gnositcs. That's another bar, Belief or whatever. That she was the female twin of JC. Wow, man, it gets more interesting. In the Kabbalih, she is the female expression of God. Now, who is God? Where did that DaBaR, that sham, the Name derived from? Derived from GAD. And GAD was the God of Fortune. Okay, if you knew anything about God, insanity, well, that's the origin of that. And here, she was a central idea in the Hellen, Gnostic, and religion. And it keeps on going. I mean, I'm tired of calling out letters at this point, okay? In other traditions, she is known as the Black Geodes of the Arats, the Savior Geodes, that the ball is Aubrey for WORLD SOUL. Oh, and we keep on going. All them DaBaRYM there I cannot speak. Read it for your own being, okay? And in Hinduism, she is the cycle of Chai, Life, turning of the seasons. And it keeps on going more and more and more. All right. We established who she is, what she is. Now let's come up here. Greek origin of the DaBaRYM, W-I-S-D-O-M. The Greek DaBaRYM for W-I-S-D-O-M is S-O-P-H-I-A. That is derived from S-O-P-H-O-S, meaning W-I-S-E. Okay. We've got a lot of the S-O-P-H's going on here, don't we? Therefore, W-I-S-D-O-M is S-O-P-H-I-A. Therefore, we do not need to be using W-I-S-D-O-M because in Scripture, Yahweh tells his Yaladim, his children, to not let the other Shemuth, N-A-M-E-S's, be heard from our lashon, our tongue, or our lips. We are not to speak of them. We are not to call upon them. What do you do whenever you can't call upon something because it is related to a Rasha Akkad, O-N-E? You find the pure DaBaRYM that was there from the beginning and you use that DaBaRYM, okay, that W-O-R-D. I'll take y'all there in just a moment. We're fixing to get there. And here we got some more. She, W-I-S-D-O-M, is a central idea, and da-da-da-da-da. All those DaBaRYM I don't feel like calling out. You can do more on that. Look at here. In etymology, right down here, Old English, W-I-S-D-O-M, from W-I-S, W-I-S-E. There you go. W-I-S-E. Greek origin of the DaBaRYM, W-I-S-E. The Greek DaBaRYM for W-I-S-E is S-O-P-H-O-S. It comes from the root DaBaRYM, S-A-P-H-E. That means clear, or W-I-S-E. Down here, the term S-O-P-H-I-S-ism comes from the Greek S-O-P-H-O-S or S-O-P-H-I-A, meaning W-I-S-E or W-I-S-D-O-M. I think we've learned this far that we're not supposed to use the DaBaRYM, F-A-I-T-H, W-I-S-D-O-M, W-I-S-E, and there's some more I threw in there, but I'm making connections for you on that. Plus the sham, S-O-P-H-I-A. This was, I just typed in S-O-P-H-O-S, meaning, or G-O-D, and it was just basically another search, and it takes you to Strong's Greek, and you can go there and look that up, but it means, you know, the same thing. That and S-O-P-H-I-A go hand in hand. All right, now, what DaBaRYM can we use instead of those pagan terms? Right here. I come to the BIBLE hub.com/search Hebrew, and then it's got, you know, little extras, but you can just put /search Hebrew, and this will pop up. Now you can put your DaBaRYM up here or DaBaRYM down here for search. We're going to search F-A-I-T-H. Already put that in there and hit search, and this is what come up. This is what come up. You've got some more down here, but you have to know the context and that you're speaking it in. The context of how you're using this DaBaRYM means everything, but we're going to click on this because it means F-A-I-T-H. This is the pure DaBaRYM. This is what we speak in the place of that. Okay, if you study the Authioth or the Paleo Albrith, that's the first language of creation. Let me get these ads off of here. You will know that there is no E in Albrith. It was never in the beginning. It was added later by other cultures. Okay. Here they have Imuna. It's not Imuna, it's Amuna. It's written with the Aleph, the Mam, the Ua, the Nun, and the Ha. And that gives you Amuna. Amuna. Okay? Now, our definition of Amuna is right here. F-A-I-T-H, fullness. F-I-D-E. Remember, if you put a little S on there, you've got F-I-D-E-S. Steadfastness, T-R-U-S-T. F-I-I-T-H. Firmness, security, F-I-D-E-L-I-T-Y. Derived from the root, every dabar has a root, aman. Not A-M-E-N, but aman. That means to confirm, to support, or to be, F-A-I-T-H. But y'all got to understand, because it's got the English, the pagans down here, it does not, these do not derive, these pagan terms that I've just shown y'all do not derive from the Abaris, the pure. The Abaris has always been the pure. The Pagan DaBaRYM were added later, and they were, you know, they took a pure dabar, Amuna, and they changed it to the, you know, and gave it a sham, or called it after a Rasha Akkad. Okay, now down here, you're going to see this is familiar. In the Greek, okay, this is where this dabar began. P-I-S-T-I-S, often translated as F-A-I-T-H in the Brit Kadashah, or what folks call the New Testament, reflecting a similar concept of T-R-U-S-T, F-A-I-T-H fullness. Okay, you recognize the P-I-S-T-I-S. It all links together, right? Okay, now we're going to come back up here. We know that we can speak Amuna instead of F-A-I-T-H or T-R-U-S-T, Amuna. And Amuna is a dabar that actually goes a lot deeper than that. I mean, it goes really, really deep if you were just to study that dabar. And over here on the right side, it's got all kinds of scripture that you can find it in, and it goes on further down. Now, our next dabar we're going to type in up here is W-I-S-D-O-M. What can we speak instead of W-I-S-D-O-M? As Yahweh's Yaladim. This isn't for the Dabal or for the Seshans out there that don't want to know the, you know, the Ha'amath, the truth. This is for Yahweh's Yaladim that are seriously turning from all paganism. Okay, we're trying to clean our lashon, our tongue. Here, W-I-S-D-O-M. And you can, you know, you continue to scroll because you're going to have other, but you're going to have mostly right there together the same, but there's going to be different other DaBaRYM for the different texts, context. But we're going to go here because W-I-S-D-O-M. And this is the bar Hakma. Hakma. It's not, it's not Chokma, okay, or Hokma. It's not that. Over here, let's see, make sure y'all can see the screen I'm looking at, because I forget that I'm looking at my screen and I've got the phone at a different angle. It is written with the cut, you know, the KH. It's written with the cut. KH, K, there's a difference between the KH and the K. The kat, and then the kaf, and then the mam, and then the ha. And you got hakma, hakma. The way you pronounce the it's kind of a lateral thing, or I think that's how they pronounce or they describe it. Which you have to kind of like roll your tongue a little bit. It's combining the K and the H sound together. So when you whenever you speak this dabar, it's ha, ha. You know, instead of just like kat. It's ha, ha. In other words, you would pronounce this as hakma. Kind of like you're hawking up something from your throat. I know that doesn't sound appropriate, but it's the truth. It has that ha, ha, you know, sound to it. When you pronounce this dabar, it's hakma, hakma, okay? Hakma. Now, this is derived from the root hakam, meaning to be W-I-S-E or to act W-I-S-E-L-Y. Now, we remember in the pagan where W-I-S-D-O-M arrived from. Well, look at here. Let me scroll you down a little bit. There it is right there. S-O-P-H-I-A. That's the Greek. Right there corresponding. Often used in the Brit Kadashah to denote Hakma, particularly D-I-V-I-N-E, Hakma. All right, and then you've got, it's going to give you a list of other things. It's going to go further into that DaBaR. And down here, it means to be skilled, or W-I-S-D-O-M, or W-I-S-E-L-Y. You know, take off the L-Y, and you got W-I-S-E. In other words, for those two DaBaRYM, W-I-S-D-O-M, and W-I-S-E is Hakma. It is written with the K-H, and then this would be an A, and then the K, and then the M, and then the A, and the H, okay? When you start studying the Aubrey language, then this will come to you. It takes a while, trust me. It takes a while. This has been a long journey for me. Well worth it. All right. I've got one more thing to show you. Okay, this is an encyclopedia of the GODS's, over 2,500 DEITIES's of the ball. All right. I've had this book for a long while, and I got this book because of the reason I wanted to know. I wanted to know what I was speaking and if I was calling on other Rasha Kadim. Okay? This is a tool. This is a tool. Now we're going to find in here these. This is another source that we're going to find these Rasha Kadim. Okay, here they have FIDES is a minor GOD from the ROMAN, identified with FAITH, Ua loyalty. A sanctuary was dedicated to him in ROME, 254 BC, symbolized by a pair of covered hands. Now, this is a different FIDES than what is listed here on the computer. And I found that very interesting because on the computer they have it listed as a GODS. But in this book, it has it listed as a GOD. This is the male part of FIDES. And the other is the female. And if you know anything about Greek mythology and stuff like that, you can have a female-male counterpart to a GOD or GODS. It goes several times in Greek mythology. And y'all know, or y'all need to know, mythology does not mean it's a myth. It is real. Okay? This was a real time that did happen. All right? That's the FIDES. In school, we were taught that it's a myth. We were even taught that the BIBLE, scripture was a myth. Well, we'll see. We'll see at the end, won't we? All right. Now, our next DaBaRYM, we're looking up here. Okay. I think I've got them all marked. Is this one. P-I-S-T-I-S. And what's beside of that? F-A-I-T-H. And it's got your origin, G-O-N-S-T-I-C, Chrestian. C-H-R-S-T-A-N. Primordial female force. Known period of worship, probably the 200 BC to 400 AD. And then you're going to come here and it's going to give you, oh, there's the P-I-S. T-I-S-S-O-P-H-I-A. Shocker, huh? It's the centers of cults, C-U-L-T. Undefined cells in areas of early Chrestian influence. And here we were being taught that Christianity was the pure religion. It's a religion, folks. It's not nothing pure. All right. When folks start really realizing that Christianity wasn't polluted, that Christianity is pollution, then desirably there will be others that wake up. The literary sources, and then it goes into the exact origin, is never made clear. Narratives are in places confused and contradictory. It is, however, an unmistakable female principle typical of most religions and their concept of the origin of the ball. And it goes into appears to be a benign female, E-L-E-M-E-N-T, among the primordial immortals who ruled before even the C-O-S-M-O-S were created. She is closely allied with S-O-P-H-I-A, a.k.a. W-I-S-D-O-M. Then appears to have been formed out of an infinity before the S-H-A-D-O-W, that was evolved into C-H-A-O-S. I did a video on C-H-O-A-S, and from that, the C-O-S-M-O-S would take shape. And then it keeps on going. Okay? There's that one. remember. And now the last one. Let's see. Oh. She keeps on coming up. Oh, S-O-P-H-I-A, in parentheses, W-I-S-D-O-M, origin, Greek principle, adopted by G-N-O-S-T-I-C, Cetians. Primordial female force in the C-O-S-M-O-S, known period. And then you can flip the page, and you've got all this over here to read. Y'all can pause this if you want to just read it. Because if you don't, I'd have to be calling out a lot of letters. There's other DaBaRYM in there too. Alright. That is our study, our DaBaR study on F-A-I-T-H. And with that DaBaR study, I think we got a lot of other DaBaRYM in there too that we learned. Hakma instead of W-I-S-D-O-M / W-I-S-E. Okay? Amuna instead of F-A-I-T-H. Those are your pure DaBaRYM. Alright? Pure DaBaRYM. Amuna. Amuna. Alright. I really desire that y'all learned something from that. And I encourage you to do your own research. You know, I'll have folks comment that I didn't explain anything. Wow. That's all I can say to that comment, because it takes a lot of time to show y'all these researches, because I have to research it before I actually show it on video. And some videos are short, some are medium, and some are long, and some are actually longer than this in here. But you have to do your own homework to learn from this. I can show you what I can guide you through, and you can go there and look. But in the long run, if you don't go do your own homework and your own research, and you take notes and learn things, you are the reason you have not learned anything, not me. As Yahweh Yaladim, we are to study. We are to study deep and hard. We're not to study and let the things of the ball to be constant distractions. And it is for me. I have found my own being constantly distracted here the past month with outside things, and attacked in different ways. I've always dealt with, ever since I was a little girl, sprouting up. I can remember I was about 4 years old, and I have dealt with Shadim, D-E-M-O-N-S's, attacks since I can remember. And I never understood why. I never understood why did they choose me to attack. And they wouldn't attack my other family members, you know, and it was mostly in my sleep time. You know, that time where you're half awake, half asleep, that little area. I'm 49 years old now, and last Layla, I got attacked laying in my sleep several times. And when I finally got them to leave me alone from that sleep period, and when I finally got to sleep, they attacked me in my, what folks call as dreams, insinuations into dreams. And we'll have a discussion about that another yom. That's something I want to share with y'all. I want to see if any other y'all have experienced that as Yahweh Shaladim. It's not something that you would want to happen to anybody. But yeah, we'll discuss that. That's a very deep share. All right, go study. Go pick up your scriptures. Go get some reference books. Go find out, you know, the origins of DaBaRYM. I've got another book coming. It should be in the mail anytime right now. I'm looking very forward to it. It's origins of, I can't remember how many DaBaRYM. And then it's going to be, I'll definitely be sharing some of that with y'all too. All right. Yada Yahuwah for cleansing our lashon. Yada Yahuwah. Shalom, 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 shalom. Y'all. Yada Yahuwah. Halal Yahuwah.